I'm Owen. I'm an engineer at Elementl, and we're the company behind Dagster, which is an open source Python library for data orchestration. So I imagine there's a lot of people that have never heard of data orchestration, and there's also probably a lot of people that have never heard of orchestration in general, or at least don't have a great idea of what it is. So I'm going to be really ambitious, I'm going to talk really fast, and I'm trying to start from the very beginning. So first, orchestration is, at a high level, just organizing and managing computational tasks. These tasks can be anything. So we can start off by loading some new data into a database. And after that happens, we might want to update some metrics dashboards with that new data. Another example might be having some log file on a disk. We back that up to the cloud. And only once that's done do we want to delete the local copy. If the first task fails, we really don't want to execute the second one. Other nice to have features of orchestration would be scheduling. So starting that process at the same time every day. Alerting, if one of those tasks fails, get a Slack message, get a PagerDuty alert, etc. Also, having a history of every time these ran would be really valuable. So instead of just having a cron job disappear into the void, we can look at what actually happened 2 months ago. Data orchestration is really similar, except it's specialized for data tasks. So any task that has something to do with data. So transporting it, transforming it, processing it, etc. One special attribute of these data tasks is that it's often very valuable to actually pass data between these tasks. So it's not enough to say that, OK, task 1 is done, task 2 start. You want to have some way of communicating. So you might want to pass some Python object. You might want to pass the contents of a database table, a PySpark data frame, et cetera. Some natural examples, ETLs and ML workflows often really fit into this pattern where you're transforming data and pushing it along a pipeline and transforming it at every step. Before I get into some code, some Dagster-specific terminology for our framework, we have a concept of an op. It's short for operator or operation. It's basically analogous to a data task. Inside an op is just arbitrary Python code, whatever you want. Once you connect ops together, connect their inputs and outputs, you can create a job. And that's a workflow that you might want to execute, either on a schedule, manually, et cetera. So now we can look at some code. This is a stubbed out ETL pipeline. And you can see we have 3 functions here, 3 ops. The first one is extract data. You get data from somewhere, and you return it as a pandas data frame. Again, arbitrary Python. This could be anything. So it could just be a regular Python object, too. We have a transform function. So it takes a data frame, does something to it. Maybe it filters it. And then finally, we have a load operation. So it takes that data frame and puts it somewhere. Maybe it stores it back to disk. Maybe it stores it in a database, whatever. And now that we've decorated them with this @op, they turn from regular Python functions into ops, and we can turn them in, and we can compose them into a job. So here we have a myETL job. We take our transform data, which is just what happens when you transform your extracted data, and then we load it somewhere. So now if we go to Dagit, which is Dagster's UI tool for visualizing these things, without even running any of this op code, just by reading the contents of the job, we already get a graphical representation of what this looks like. And you see we've actually slurped up those type annotations and use that to help inform the graph. We can also look at a history of every run that has ever happened, if it succeeded or failed. And with any instance of those runs, we get a really detailed look at a timeline of all the events that happened. Lots of automatically generated structured metadata. Obviously, that's a really high-level overview. Can't go over all the features. But some honorable mentions is historically, it's really hard to test data pipelines because you don't really want to touch your production database in a test. So Dagster is designed around making it really easy to mock out certain parts of your jobs. So for example, you can have a database resource in prod that touches actual database. In your test, it's just a mock thing. Another thing is a lot of times these data tasks are designed to create something called what we call a data asset, which is some persisted object that stays outside the lifetime of a pipeline run. So for example, a database table or something on disk, et cetera. So the asset catalog makes it really easy to connect those assets to the computation that computed them and track them over time. So in conclusion, Dagster is a tool to help develop, test, and monitor trusted data assets. If that sounds cool to you and you want to learn more, talk to us on Slack. I'm at Owen.